Okay, let's see here. Okay, so today is January 16th of 2025. Gonna go over yesterday's price action. So yesterday was interesting. Yesterday, even though price reacted very bullishly, um, I was actually bearish. Um, and the reason why I was bearish was because on the daily, uh, what I was looking for, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see price um, draw lower, not necessarily all the way down to this low, but once price had that bullish reaction, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see price draw into this imbalance here, and then maybe react, uh, start selling off afterwards, and it kind of did right off the open, but I actually ended up taking a pretty good win. Um, but as soon as I realized that price was not going to follow through, I just covered everything and ended up covering everything. And the reason why I went short, I think it was at the 09. Yeah, it was the 09 macro. Um, was because ES had drawn into this imbalance and NQ was actually right down here somewhere. And as you can see here, I drew this right here. I drew this SMT here, and I already took out that SMT there. And so again, the initial reaction took out all this generated liquidity here, but on NQ it remained right here. And so I had expected because of that SMT, I had expected price to maybe turn around and then close somewhere down here, but obviously that didn't happen. So today, let's actually go over that price action now. Okay, so it was right here where I had expected, right? So after price did not draw towards this high here, and it did here. Actually, it was this high here. Uh, After that happened, I started thinking, okay, well maybe price is going to sell off. I forget what date it was. What day was it? It was a couple of months ago where the same happened, and I was able to take a pretty good win all the way at these lows down here. But obviously that didn't happen. So I got short right around here, and I had to hold this for about a half hour. And what I was watching was I wanted to see price remain below this gap here. Not only this gap, but I wanted to see price remain below this order block right here, and my stop was this high here. And so right off the open, we tried to get above, didn't, failed. And I actually added one more contract here, ended up covering for about 60 points down here. And then the rest I ended up covering, I ended up taking it off once I realized how price was going to most likely draw towards the highs. And so I left it alone afterwards. 60 points on three contracts and then a couple of points on the other one. I'll take that win. Um, and so I didn't trade this one, but I did follow it, which was a pretty good one. SMT here with ES and NQ, where they were in sync. However, on YM actually drew into that low, into 50% of the range. And so once I saw that, I just started watching. I watched price break structure here after it broke structure here. I think it was this 15 minute here created a change in the state of delivery. No, actually it didn't. I thought it did. Uh, kind of did here, but on the 5 minute it did create change in the state of delivery here. Anybody that was short here got stopped out here. Um, and so notated this 15-minute order block here. As soon as it closed above, started looking for a double purge. It happened here on the 1 minute double purge into this 15-minute inverse and 15-minute gap here. And then for the 1300 macro, price created a pretty nice setup on the 1 minute right here. Change in the state of delivery after price closes above here. Entry right here if you wanted to get in long, cover into these areas here, and then ultimately this previous day high here. So for today, for some reason, well, not for some reason, but given what I am seeing in the market, I'm still bearish. I don't expect this to be uh, the week where we start drawing towards all-time highs again. I'm still bearish. This to me is all generated liquidity, which I believe will eventually get taken eventually. Um, and so that's why I'm still bearish. I still believe these relative equal lows need to get swept, and price is kind of creating a descending wedge here, right, where it kind of will trade in this area first before it finally decides to break out. And so that's why I'm bearish. I still believe that that we do need to take out more liquidity at the lows. Um, right. So I still do believe we have more liquidity at these lows, and we do have relative equal lows here. This right here is a previous monthly relative equal lows, previous weekly lows, all relatively equal. Same thing here, previous weekly lows. Um, on the weekly, we do have SMT, but I don't think that SMT holds up, at least not until these lows get taken. Once these lows get taken, that's when I'll be more bearish long term. But short term, I do believe we come down to sweep these lows here. I do believe this candle closes something like this one, and I do believe now that we've taken out internal liquidity, uh, we now start seeking external liquidity here. This low right here was taken here already, as you can see here a couple of weeks ago. This technically would be a 3 bar pattern, and then maybe price comes up to take these highs, but I don't think we do that just yet. I think we come down here first, but we trade in this relative in this area first, kind of like consolidation where we zigzag and then eventually we come down here. And I don't think that happens for like a couple of weeks, or maybe even happens next week, who knows. But that's why I'm not as bullish just yet. If we immediately take off today right off the open, then these might be the next target right here. One of these will sweep the high where the other one doesn't. If the other one doesn't, then I'll start looking for shorts again. But again, I do believe we're trading in a descending wedge. And so that's my focus for today. Let's go to the 60-minute. Actually, let's go to the daily where, okay. Let's do this. Okay. And this right here is the new high that I'm watching now. Okay, I can get rid of this one. And so in the 4 hour, I already see some sort of what's the word? Some sort of double purge already. So that's what I'll be watching today. I don't expect price to continue drawing higher. Maybe it does. Maybe it draws towards this high here. It takes out those highs, and then we get that continuation lower. But as of right now, the only thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for displacement lower. If there's no displacement lower, then I'm not looking to take a trade at these highs unless we start anticipating, or unless we get like a big push up here and then we go for these highs. But that's, I mean, I don't know how price traded overnight, so um, I can't really come up with a plan just yet. All I know is that there is sell side and buy side now. Let's do this. So as you can see, we are at internal liquidity here. Okay, so this is what I'm watching. I'm watching this area here. I'm watching this possible previous day high here where price may decide to attack. Okay, that's better. So let me add this one too. Okay. All right, so that's what I'm watching today. I'm watching these lows. I'm watching this low here. I think the best course of action would be maybe we get some sort of inside candle. If we get an inside candle and price does not break out above the previous day high, then that'd be great too. Because then that would the next day that would give me a target to maybe target these highs or some sort of SMT. Uh, and so that's what I'm watching for. If price decides to attack these highs, that's fine too. But again, we are at internal liquidity here. And so I will be looking for price to draw lower from here. Again, descending wedge. So I don't think it breaks out today. I do think that today we draw lower. So I'll be looking for these lows. On the 4 hour, we are right at a order block, which I believe is where price decides to start drawing lower now. Um, and Q, well, and Q, the order block is right here. So one of these, if I see SMT, then I'll probably just get into maybe one contract, try to hold all day to attack these lows down here, because I do believe these areas down here are maybe the targets today. Um, there is internal liquidity right here, so I'll be watching this area here as well, right here and right here. And the reason why I don't add the um, the gap, right? And the reason why I don't add this gap right here is because if price draws lower, then I'm not going to be paying attention to the gap here. I will expect for this gap to get filled and eventually for price to come back down here. Because again, buy side taken on the 4 hour. So now I'm looking for sell side to be taken. Buy side taken. Typically, actually not just yet, because we do have some sort of SMT here between the 4 hour. So I'll be looking to see how price reacted overnight. Um, but as you can see here, this is the sell side I'm talking about right here. This would be sell side, right? Right. Price breaks below here. We get a close. We have a breaker. And I'll be looking to see how price trades overnight on the 15-minute. If price takes out sell side and then buy side, once buy side is taken, I'll start looking for a sell model. So hopefully that happened overnight. If not, then who knows? So let's go ahead and connect. Actually, no, not yet. I'm gonna wait until after the open. Um, but yeah, that's my plan as it stands right now. I'm looking for price to draw lower. Um, I want to see I want to see price take out all bullish PD arrays, because again, from this high to this low, from this high to this low, we are at premium, right? We are at premium, and so I'm expecting price to come back down here, sell off, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. um, Price is right up here right now. You know what? Let's connect anyways. Let's see. I'm not looking to trade, at least not until 10 o'clock. So let's go to the daily and see where we're at right now. All right, so we took the high already, right? We took the previous day high, so that's fine. We're still within this gap here. We did close above it, so this technically is an inverse right now. This is not, it has not, what's the word? It has not tested the inverse yet, but we're still within this wedge here. So I don't expect this break to happen today. Um, so I'm not as bullish as I think everybody else is expecting to be. We're still within this bullish wedge, so I do expect to see more consolidation in these areas, similar to this day here. Obviously, we didn't get that break above here. Here we did. We get that break, then we sell off afterwards. So we're still at internal liquidity. We're still at premium between this high and this low here. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Nothing on the 4-hour. We're still within this gap here. And we're still within this gap here. This right here is displacement. So nothing is telling me on the 4-hour anything. I'm not seeing anything on the 4-hour. There's no displacement whatsoever, so I can't come up with a reasonable theory just yet. I want to see displacement first. So I think today we might not get a move until maybe 1600. I mean, until maybe the 11 o'clock macro. But unless maybe I'll see something in the on the 60-minute. Let's take a look at the 60-minute. Okay, so on the 60-minute, what I'm seeing that we took sell side here. We took buy side. Here we took sell side, buy side here into the previous day high. We have relative equal high lows here. Here, nothing. So I kind of want to see what happens once price takes out this high here. Because right now the target, the drawn liquidity is this high up here. We have relative equal highs here, generated liquidity. Same as this area here on the 4-hour. We now can see it on the 1-hour. So one of these won't get swept, in my opinion. And as always, if I'm looking to get short, I want to see sell side get taken first and then buy side. Once buy side gets taken, I want to see displacement lower and then an entry on a model. So in the 60-minute, let's take a look at the 15-minute. All right. Okay, so here on the 15-minute, we just took out buy side here. And ES has not. Technically, that's SMT. So whether we take out this high or we've already taken out a high, what I want to see right off the open is an immediate displacement lower. If we see an immediate displacement lower, or if we see a displacement lower here, then I'll be interested in getting short. But until then, right now the draw on liquidity are these highs. And so I'm not really interested in um, in taking a trade. And if we draw towards these highs, what I want to see is if we're going to draw towards this high, what I want to see is I want to see price on the at least on the 15-minute close above here and above here. Actually, this one already happened, so that's fine. Similar to yesterday where price closed, where is it? Similar to yesterday where price closed above here with this candle into the 1300 macro, and the 1 minute entry is right here where price on the 1 minute closed above here, took out buy side, then sell side, created not SMT, um, uh, change in the state of delivery right here, offered a pretty nice gap entry, and um, offered the objective to this high and then ultimately the previous day high. So right now, we'll see what happens. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work around a um, yeah, I'm gonna work with micros today, because if I'm right, then all of these lows are the objectives. There's a tiny little gap down here, and these gaps tend to get filled. There's a tiny little gap down here somewhere too. I forget where exactly, but all these gaps tend to get filled, similar to a tiny little gap up here where it had to be filled. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this right here. This is a 2022 model. 5 minute here. We traded into this inverse here, displacement lower. 10. Actually, it would be a 23 point stop. So let's just watch this and see how price opens and closes. All right, so we already took that high, so that's fine. So now these highs are the drawn liquidity. But I want to see how price reacts here with this breaker model. If we take that high or we come down to take these lows. This is a mitigation block. This is a breaker block. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take a shot there. Stop is up here. And if we draw towards these lows, I want to see change in the state of delivery, because I think there's a 15 minute uh, order block. That would be a 15-minute order block right here, right here. Depending on if we close down here, then I'll start looking for Yeah, then I'll just hold this contract, or maybe we do have to get below this inversion gap though, right here, because we took out sell side. We're right below a breaker, and technically, when we take out sell side, and when you're looking for a short, you want sell side to get taken. I mean, when you're looking for a long, wait, let me rephrase that. When you're looking for a short, you want sell side taken, and then you want buy side taken. I'm just gonna put my stop up here. I don't want to play around with this, so I'll just leave my stop up here. If this gets taken, then I'll just take it out. Because technically speaking, I want sell side to get swept, and then I want to look for that reversal into a short. But if price just continues selling off, then I get to hold on to this contract for a while, because I do believe we take this low, and ultimately we end up taking this low here too. All right, we have SMT at these lows. We just closed this tiny little gap here. This gap hasn't been closed. That's technically SMT. So even if we attack these highs now, my draw on liquidity right now are these lows. Not immediately, but eventually, towards the end of day, I believe. But if we keep on drawing lower, then that's good for me. All right, we're at 50 points right now, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this contract there for a while. Probably should have added more, but that's fine. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this one for a while. Uh, let's see here. Oh, and this is the micro I'm holding right now. We're about to take that low, but I do believe we come down to these lows. So I'm gonna hold this for as long as I can, whichever happens first. Yeah, this is turning out to be a really nice setup, because now the if we continue drawing lower, and this 1 hour here closes down here, or eventually price closes down here, that gives us a pretty nice setup to look for later on, maybe at the 11 o'clock macro. Or I don't like that. I'm not liking that reaction. Okay, yeah, I'm not liking that reaction. SMT at the lows, as you can see right here, between ES and NQ. Mm. All right. Well, it's just one contract, so I'm not gonna stress over it. My stop is up here. Um, yeah, my stop is up here. So let's see, my entry was there. So that's about a 15-point stop. So I'm risking 15 points to make at least 100, at least 100 points. So I'll take it. But again, if we just continue to displace lower than this right here, this becomes my first objective. And if we displace through here, or if we close, like I said on the 1 hour, where's the 1 hour? And if we close down here, that's change in the state of delivery on the 1 hour. And then that gives us reason to start looking for a 5-minute sell model on the 5-minute. And so right now, just looking into it like that. Because again, on the 1 hour, we had sell side taken, buy side taken. So now we're drawing lower. So we'll see. The only thing I don't like is the small SMT. There is SMT here between on these right here, and right here. So when you see SMT like that, the lows become the first objective. So hopefully we get that continuation lower. Because for this move up, as you can see, there was a SMT right here, this low here, and this low here. So if you were looking for a long, right, if you're looking for a long after Asia, as you can see here, price swept buy side and then sell side, price drew higher, pretty good buy setup there. Sweet. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's see how the 5-minute closed. All right. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm not liking. It's the fact that um, there's SMT at these lows between ES and NQ. Um, but my bias is bearish, so I'm going to stick with that. Oh, and the reason why I'm bearish is even though both ES and NQ are in sync, YM is actually the one that swept. Where is that high? Right, YM swept these highs already. So that's why that type of SMT kind of gives me a little bit of fuel, but again, this is kind of like yeah. So that's why I'm bearish. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong, and price could continue to draw higher. But again, the fact that I already have a stop, my set stop, I'm willing to risk 15 points on a mini to make at least 100, maybe 200, up to 300 points. Because if I'm right, then we could see displacement. If I'm wrong, then I'm only losing 15 points. So that's fine. It's just the SMT that's kind of giving me reason to not believe. And looks like we're displacing higher. I mean, it's just the SMT. Yeah, it's the SMT at the lows that's giving me reason to doubt that for a moment. But again, this breaker, yeah, this breaker is the reason why I got in. For a moment, I did expect price to sweep these highs here, but this breaker here is kind of holding price down, so I'll just wait. Let's take a look at the 5-minute actually, because the 5-minute now is telling me something. Sell side swept, buy side swept. We are holding below this breaker here. I mean, not breaker. This breaker here on the 5-minute. This right here is the 15-minute order block if price were to continue drawing higher. So I don't want to see price break above this 15-minute order block, well, this inverse now, and close above it. And I don't want to see price break above this breaker here or this inverse here. And if price does not do that and then just continues drawing lower, then this right here becomes a breakaway gap. I like how this is turning out to be, because right now we have this 15-minute right here. This would become the I know exactly what I'm looking at, but I forget the names of them. This would become the what's that block that just immediately tells you that price is going to displace lower? I forget what it's called. Jeez, can't remember the name. Well, anyways, it becomes that block that makes price start drawing aggressively. I cannot remember that name. I'll probably remember it in a couple hours. All right. So far, so good. So I'm gonna be today. I'm gonna be staying on for. I'll try to stay on all day, really. But depending on what I see, I'll just leave the screen on. But I won't come on until I see an actual model. Um, because I did get short up here, so now I'm just holding this one contract. Um, and these lows are the objective, but unless you got short up here, there's no reason to get short right now, because what you're waiting for is you're waiting for the 1 hour at least, or this 15-minute to close below this right here, or on the 1 hour below this right here. If that happens, you have to wait for the 5-minute to show you something like this. Actually, no, not this. This is a short setup. I guess the inverse of this right here. What you want to see is you want to see sell side get swept and then buy side get swept. And then on that 5-minute, you either catch the turtle soup or you wait for price to offer you displacement. You enter there with a stop at that turtle soup. And so now we have change in state of delivery on the 15-minute right here. So it looks like it's setting up for a good 15-minute, 1-minute entry. Let's see this one. Yep. So what I want to see, where's that picture? Is exactly, there it is. There you go. Is this for a short setup? So on the 5 minute, right now we are technically here. I mean, on the 1 minute, we are technically here. So what I would like to see is, without breaking this low yet, I want to see price come back up here, sweep this high, and then we get that entry. If that doesn't happen, then no reason to get in, no reason to jump in. And then if price sweeps this low without giving me that model, then I'll just I'll bring my stop down to break even, and I'll just forget about that contract because the first objective was already taken. I'm at 100 points now. Well, way more than 100 points. 110 points. So I'll just leave it there. Because again, ultimately, I do believe we draw all the way towards this low, and eventually we sweep these lows down here, because my ultimate objective, at least during the next week or so, we take out these relative equal lows. And as you can see here on ES, there's a really nice relative equal lows on the monthly right here. So I am holding. Now I'm at 130 points. Pretty cool. So now there's SMT between this high here, I mean this low here, and this low here. So many people are thinking, all right, let me get long. But what they're not seeing is they're not seeing the sweep, and how price moves, where price draws from liquidity to imbalance, and then from imbalance down to liquidity. But if you're long, but if you're bullish, you want to see price draw into an imbalance, and then you want to see plenty of lows get taken. So if you're bullish, you want to see price now that it's an imbalance, you want to see price take out liquidity, and then reverse. Because it hasn't taken enough liquidity, that's why price is not reversing. So if I were to see SMT at these highs, I wouldn't believe it just yet. At least not until it comes into discount of this high and this low, which would be around here somewhere. And so, where is it? Oh yeah, this is the type of play I'm talking about. Actually, I didn't take that one. I took this one right here. There you go. So you see how price displays lower, similar to that day. Price displaces lower, and instead of just jumping in here blindly, what you do is you just wait. As you can see here, there was change in the state of delivery, but actually here on the 1 hour there was change in the state of delivery. So you wait for that, then you just let price show you what it's doing, SMT here between this high and this high here, and this high and this high here. You zoom into the 1 minute, and there's a break between, there's a double purge. You enter right here and you attack these lows down here, ultimately down to these lows over here. So same concept today. All right, so I'm gonna bring my stop down to this 5 minute high. Yep, right here. So even if I lose, I wasn't expecting to jump in right at this high. What I wanted, I was actually expecting for this to happen first. Once this happens, I want to take it off here. Ooh, I just noticed this. Was that taken? Shoot, it wasn't. Okay. Decisions. Because now we have relative equal lows here. If price decides to reverse, let's take a look at the 1 minute. Yep, that's a reversal. No, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out. Jeez. Yeah, let me take it out. Okay. All right, I'm out. It's safer to just wait. Um, yeah, I'm better off just waiting because when you're holding like how I'm holding, you could be right and you might end up with a pretty nice 300-point move, but but you don't know exactly how far it's going to go. And even though you have 15-minute change in state of delivery right now, um, it could very well end up taking you all the way into the highs, and then you get scared out of it, just like how I did right now. But when you actually have a good setup, which is right here, right on the 1 minute, you have SMT, right, displacement, breaker block, 15-minute, I'm sorry, 50% retracement, entry here, sell side swept, buy side swept into a breaker block, enter short here, stop right up here as soon as you realize that this breaker block is starting to work. Cover one here, hold on to the rest, cover at 50% of this range, and then if you want to hold overnight, you hold the whole thing until you get that. So that's why I would rather wait for the safe play instead of holding on to what I'm holding right now or onto what I was holding. So overall, 70-point win. So I could use that as a stop, for a trade later on, depending on what price decides to do. So yeah, I'll just leave the screen on. I don't expect to make a play right now because I don't see anything on. I mean, there is technically change of state of delivery on the 15-minute, but let's take a look at the 1 minute. Yeah, kind of where you have this gap here, price is holding below it. So who knows, price may attack this low here, but what I would actually like to see is a more refined swing high, swing low, where this becomes a swing low. We get a sweep right here without sweeping this low, come back up, sweep this high, and then I enter short. But I'm just not liking this area here, so I'm better off just holding. And I may be, we are kind of respecting this right here. But I forget what day it was. There was a day where I actually entered short on something similar. Um, oh, geez, where was it? What day was it? And I actually stopped out. And the true entry was as soon as this high was broken. As soon as that high was broken, sell side taken, buy side taken, entry short, attack these lows. Um, who knows that may be what's happening right now, going into the 10 o'clock macro. So that's why taking that stop takes me away from all of that stress, I guess mental stress. So yeah, I think it's gonna try to stop everybody out. Anybody that was short. And I actually hope that happens. I do hope we come into these highs here, because then that gives me another chance to short with a stop up here to attack these lows again. Yeah, I hope that happens. It is respecting this gap here. Um, yeah, no, there's no setup that I like for a short. None other than this one right here, which is pretty good setup. But yeah, I'm really liking it though. If we come up here to take these highs, because then we can attack these relative equal lows down here. Actually, no, that's changing the state of delivery. My bad. These lows might as well be relatively equal. So yeah, I don't think we get an actual setup until maybe 11. If not 11, then definitely 12 or 13. Okay, so the 1 minute is about to close. I mean, the 1 hour is about to close. I would like it if it closed here, down here somewhere. If that happens, then that gives you 1 hour, change it in state of delivery. Actually, let's change this right now. Where is it? Right here. Yep. Then that would give me a 1 hour change in the state of delivery. Come on. 40 more seconds. And then within the next 10 minutes, what I want to see is I want to see price come back, take out this high, and then we get that draw lower. If that happens, I'm gonna jump back in. Come on, just a little more. Shoot, nope, didn't happen. All right. Oh, don't tell me. No, it didn't happen. So, um, I want to see how this reacts now. We just took out that low. Perfect. So now it's either going to speed up, and if it speeds up, that's even better, because then we get that kind of like this right here, or actually, oh, here we go, like this one, where it didn't even, yeah, this is where I took that trade, where it didn't even, it kind of bounced a little bit, but it immediately displaced lower, closing down here to attack these lows down here. So that just tells me to just keep on waiting until later. Could have been a nice win, but I forget what day it was. Let's see. Here we go. That's better. Could have been this one. No, it wasn't that one. It was one of these where I totally got faked out. I ended up making it back and then some, but I just completely because again, I didn't wait for a model. I kind of just assumed, and I was right for the most part. But not having a clear stop gives you like it adds stress to you that you don't need. Um, so even though I did miss out on it, I'm not like yeah. Even though I did close it up here for a pretty nice win still, um, point wise. Uh, I know that eventually, if I'm right, and if these hourly candles close the way I expect them to close, then eventually I'll get a pretty nice setup going into the 11 or 1300 macros. So I like that we're leaving a a gap here because now, actually, let's do it this way. Now we have sell side swept. Now I want to see buy side get swept. And we still have 7 minutes until the macro finishes. This is buy side on ES. What I don't want to see is on ES, I would not like to see this high get swept. And that gives me SMT in the 15 minute, enough ammo to get short. So I'll just watch. Is there anything on the 15 minute? Nope, nothing on the 15 minute. All right, let's see. MNQ. No, let's set it at 15. I need to keep the fact that we haven't taken this high yet. Um, that's kind of interesting. If we do, then we might get that set up. But if we don't take these highs and we keep on displacing lower, then that tells me that price is spooling. Um, Meaning that price is very aggressive. And if it's aggressive, then that's even better because that is definitely going to give me indication that there will be a pretty nice setup in the afternoon session. Yeah, it's not taking these highs. So anybody that's long here, expecting this right here to be the reversal pattern to attack these highs, is not going to get that chance. But if it takes that high, then who knows? So now that that high is about to get taken, I want to see price reject it. Oh, jeez, I'm hungry. Oh, and this is right. Okay. And this is my that trade I took. I ended up just taking it out, which I'm okay with. Yeah, we're definitely not sweeping those highs yet. And if it leaves like that, then this becomes shoot, what is it called? I always forget those names. Uh, a balanced price range. There you go. Yeah, this becomes a balanced price range, which then tells me that eventually, if we displace lower, price will retrace back into this area here or maybe down here, and we'll have a hard time getting above. But if we take this high, I want to see how it reacts. Okay, so we took that high. Now I want to see how it reacts. If it rejects, then I want to see price close below here, and then the high of this breaker will be my stop. If we continue to draw higher, then I want to see price sweep this high and then reject. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Let's see how it works. So here, we took this high here. Here, we did not take this high here. So we'll see. We have relative equal highs up here, so who knows? We have 40 seconds until the macro. So yeah, as it stands, I'm not gonna take a trade, even if it sweeps this high, because we're already outside of the macro. So right now it's just a waiting game. That's all it is. It's not. Um, if I miss it, I miss it. So I don't care. Um, but if it happens within the next, let's say maybe 4 minutes, then I may take it. Okay. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. Okay, 15 minutes here. South side swept. Buy side swept. So on the 15 minute, if price closes or sweeps this high and closes above here, then I'm not interested, at least not until later. But it looks like we're rejecting that. want to see pretty bearish candles. Come on. Technically, I wish that this high was never drawn in here, because if this high would have been the high, then that would have been SMT on the 15-minute between this high and this high here, and this high and this high here. Then I would have gotten in. But because this high was drawn in, it's not really SMT. It's just this 15-minute high and this 15-minute high, relative equal highs. Yeah, I'm not going to jump in. Never mind. It doesn't help being impulsive. It could still work. Who knows? So I'm just going to leave it alone. But it looks so tempting. Because then you could attack these lows all the way down here. Don't tell me that's it. All right, you know what? Let me to cover that craving, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to paper trade it. Yeah, I'm gonna paper trade it. 3 more minutes. I mean, 3 minutes past the macro. Propulsion block. That's the name of that block. Oh, geez, I cannot remember it. So that 15-minute became the propulsion block. That's what I'm talking about. This 15-minute here. As soon as price closed below here, price retraced a little, and then we had that aggressive move down into these lows here. Oh man, I cannot believe I forgot that word. All right, so I'm gonna take it here, but just don't close. Don't do that. Come on. A couple more seconds. Okay, I'm gonna jump in. Actually, shoot, I can't believe I almost forgot that. Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Okay. MNQQH5. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna get short here. Okay, cool. And if I get stopped, then I get stopped. And my stop is this high up here. Okay. See if it works. It could still work. Who knows? Way outside of the macro, so I'm not holding. I'm not looking to hold this one that much for that long. Okay. All right. I don't like how that's closing. Oh, that was stupid. And it looks like I'm gonna get stopped right now. There you go. So I got stopped on that one, and that's why you don't trade outside of the what's that called? The macro ranges. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm gonna leave the screen on, um, and but I'm not gonna be talking obviously. So yeah, I'll just leave it on. And then if there's a setup for the 11 o'clock macro, then I'll jump in then. If not, then all good. But anyways, All right, let's see here. Coming back for the 11 o'clock macro. All right. Let's see. So I like how we are still drawing lower. I like how here price respected this institutional order flow entry drill. Here we have SMT at these highs, but it's not definitive just yet, but I do like this right here. So now let's go into the 5-minute. So we have this right here. We have this consolidation. We have sell side here swept. The 5-minute. We have sell side swept here. Then we swept buy side here. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me draw it. Okay, that's better. Here we did not, but it's still prudent to. Oh, actually, let's do it this way. There we go. All right, so we have that. So now I'm looking for a setup on the 1-minute. Because I do think we're about to, oh no, don't tell me. It's taken off without me. Oh. Okay. All right, so what I want to see is, I want to see price come back up and sweep this high right here. Right here for me to get in. And if I get in, it's going to be right there with a stop right above this breaker here. Okay. And we already traded into 50% of this range. So yeah, if I get in, if I jump in, then I will be looking for a 29 point stop loss. So a couple more seconds. 38.25. 82.25. All right, I'm gonna set some. I'm gonna set some sell orders there at 83. Okay. All right, so I have sell orders up here at 23 at 83. But wait a minute. Come on, just a little more, please. Oh no, don't tell me it's not going to. All right, come on. It's not going to. I'm just gonna leave it there. Let it ride. See what happens. Come on. Just a little more. Come on. There we go. Okay. Um, so we'll see what happens. It might not be it though. We might need to sweep these highs up here. But it all depends on how this right here decides to act. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to see what happens here. If we start closing above this, I'm going to just go ahead and take it out. Let's see how this one works. Oh no, let's where is it? Right here. Modified shift. Let's use this. Let's see. Okay. All right. So if we start closing above here, then I'm going to take it off. Okay. And my first target will be this low down here. I'm in with 2 contracts. Yeah, if we start closing above here, then I got to get out. And I'm not going to like that. And all of this right now to me is a, what's the word called? Balanced price range. So if we actually do end up drawing below here, then yeah, I'm going to hold this for a while. Let's actually NQH5. Let's jump in with 52 here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, we'll see. We're kind of holding below this breaker block too. Just noticed that. we'll see. Let's see, what does the 15-minute look like? Couple more minutes. 6 more minutes. I want to see price close here. And if it doesn't happen, then it might not happen. So we'll see. Do we have 15-minute? Yeah, we have SMT at the lows. Okay, so I'm not liking that. The only thing I don't like is I'm using this dealing range here, but this should be the dealing range from this high to this low here, and 50% would be above here, and that would be the 5-minute that I'm looking for actually. So we'll see. If it closes above here, then I got to get out. Okay. No, no. Go the other way. Alright. Yep, I'm not liking that. Alright, so I'm out. I'm out on that. Did not like that trade, so let's go back to the 5-minute. And I'll try that again once this high gets broken. Come on. So let me get rid of this. There we go. There we go. Could that be it? Let's take a look at the 15 here. Yep, there's SMT again. Come on, one more little. I need ES to break one more high here. Perfect. Okay, so we just broke that high. So now I want to see an immediate rejection. All right. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. All right, so it looks like it's not going to work. So we might be drawn towards these highs up here. So we'll see. What does the 1 hour look like? 1 hour looks pretty not bullish nor bearish. It just looks the way it looks. What does YM look like? YM is pretty bearish too. All right. You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot here. All right, so I'm short. Uh, Depending on how this 5 minute closes, I'll either this is a turtle soup entry, sell side swept, now buy side swept. So I don't expect price to close above this. I'm watching to see how this 5 minute closes. It can still go all the way up here and maybe do this, kind of dangerous, but I want to see how this 5 minute closes. If it closes below, then I want to see it reject. I'm watching that 50% of that body. I'm watching 50% of this body right here. It can still go up here, which is fine, but I'm watching this right here. Oh no. Yep, definitely not liking that. 2 more minutes until this one closes. I want to see it close below 50% of this range here. This might be the ultimate sell side that I'm looking for. I mean buy side, because everybody that's short up here is probably going to get stopped. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to take it off because it's not a model yet. I need to see price draw lower. Look, because this right here looks like it's going to attack these highs here. But again, I'm not making any assumptions just yet because I do want to see how this 5 minute closes. So we'll see. One more minute. Yeah, I think we're gonna reach for those highs. But I do love these relative equal lows here. So that's all I'm waiting on. Oof, it's pretty all right. Okay. At least on the 15 minute. If we come up here and sweep this high here, then that's fine too. Um, so we'll see. Okay, so the 5 minute just closed. We have this breaker here, order block. So we'll see. Okay, so that's rejecting pretty pretty aggressively. Okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that's definitely SMT at the lows. We'll see. One of them has to finish the objective, so it's either going to be this one or this one. That's a market maker buy model, by the way, on the 1 minute. But I like the 15 minute and how it looks in terms of these lows down here. So we'll see. Yep, that's definitely going for those highs. That's why you listen to your stops. Let's take a look here. All right. So I want to see here. We have 1 minute until the macro is over. As soon as this breaks right here, I want to see how it closes on the 1 minute. Okay, so it just broke. So now, if we are to draw down here, I want to see how that reacts. Let's do this. Okay, so that would be the optimal trade entry, but nothing yet up here. Just a little more. All right, as soon as it takes this high, I want to see an immediate rejection reaction. All right, so we just took that high. So now I want to see an immediate rejection. If we don't, then I am not gonna trade this. Okay, so that's SMT right there. SMT up here. So every candle now I want to see an immediate close lower. I want to see these candles be very aggressive, but if it takes this high again, then I'm completely and I'm actually short right now, so if we go back up there, I want to see this gap get violated immediately. I don't want price to just stick around. Okay. Nope. Looks like it may not happen. And it's already way past the macro, so that looks like I'm gonna call it a day there. I'm not looking to trade this one anymore. Or not. Let me rephrase that. I need to see more price action, not just this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. So one win, one loss. I'm okay with that. That win definitely covered for that loss. So I'm basically break even for the day. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. See you tomorrow. Actually, I'll be doing this only Thursdays now. So because the other day I realized that uh, I need to pay more attention to my trades than what I'm actually streaming. And so, yeah, I'll only be doing this Thursdays. Anyways.